a renegade. I felt alone, still feel afraid. I stumble through it anyway. I wish someone would have told me that this life is ours to choose. No one's handing you the keys or a book with all the rules. The little that I know I'll tell you. When they dress you up in lies and you're left naked with the truth, you threw your head back and you spin in the wind. Let the walls crack, 'cause it lets the light in. Let them drag you through hell. They can't tell you to change who you are. That's all I know so far. That's all I know so far. So you might give yourself away, yeah, and pay full price for each mistake. But when the candy coating hides the razor blade, you can cut yourself loose and use that rage. I wish someone would have told me that this darkness comes and goes. People will pretend, but baby girl, nobody knows. And even I can't teach you how to fly, but I can show you how to live like your life is on the line. You throw your head back and you spin in the wind. Let the walls crack, 'cause it lets the light in. Let them drag you through hell. They can't tell you to change who you are. That's all I know so far. That's all I know. Hey, that's all I know so far. That's all I know. That's all I know so far. That's all I know. That's all I know so far. That's all I know. That's all I know so far. I will be with you till the world blows up. Yes. Up and down and through till the world blows up. Yeah, yeah. You threw your head back and you spin in the wind. Let the walls crack, 'cause it lets the light in. Let them drag you through hell. They can't tell you to change who you are. And when the storm's out, you run in the rain. Put your sword down, dive right into the pain. Stay unfiltered and loud. You'll be proud of that skin full of scars. That's all I know so far. That's all I know. That's all I know so far. That's all I know. That's all I know so far. That's all I know. That's all I know so far. That's all I know. That's all I know so far. I will be with you till the world blows up.
Hearts Feel Good Weekend.
There ain't no reason you and me should be alone tonight, yeah, baby. Tonight, yeah, baby. I got a reason that you should take me home tonight. I need a man that thinks it's right when it's so wrong tonight, yeah, baby. Tonight, yeah, baby. Right on the limits where we know we both belong tonight. It's hard to feel the rush, to rush the dangerous. I'm gonna run right to the edge with you, where we can both fall hard in love. I'm on the edge of glory, and I'm hanging on with you. Out on the edge of glory, and I'm hanging on with you. On the edge, the edge, the edge, the edge.
Lady Gaga, actually. Did you see she got named Best Actress by New York Critics Circle for her performance in House of Gucci? Have you been to the cinema to see it yet? Actual mixed reviews from a lot of my friends, but I'm still desperate to go. And now, obviously, she was nominated for an Oscar for Best Actress, didn't win it, but this could be her year. Or I say this, next year could be her year for it. Fingers crossed, I do love that woman. Zoe Hardman with you here on Heart. Loads of great tunes, loads of Christmassy tunes coming up for you after 8 o'clock this morning. We are kicking off the hour with Wizard. I wish it could be Christmas every day.
This is Hearts Feel Good Weekend with Churchill Car and Home Insurance. They do the hard work so you can just chill.
We've all got a small business we love. The coffee shop by your office, that tiny online clothing label, the gym that got you back in shape. Intuit QuickBooks give your favourite small businesses simple, smart tools to manage their own finances, so they're able to focus on delivering the stuff you love. And to celebrate that, we're asking you to tell us about your favourite small business and exactly why you love them. To get involved and be in with the chance of winning £1,000, head to hearts.co.uk today.
I'm Sue Perkins, and my new podcast is all about well-known people and their less well-known hobbies. People like comedian and farthing enthusiast John Robbins.
Even though I haven't been active in the farthing scene for a few years now.
Missed you.
I've got a pretty hefty collection.
You're sort of sitting on a farthing-based pension, if you're lucky.
I'm sitting on a farthing mine.
That's At Your Leisure with me, Sue Perkins, brought to you by the Lego Group, helping you find your joyful focus. Find it on Global Player or wherever you get your pods.
We all have cards we keep long after the occasion's over. At hallmark.co.uk, it's easy to personalise a card your loved ones will treasure forever. Select from our range of designs and upload your own photos and messages to create a truly unique card they'll love. Now with free delivery on orders before January 3rd. A memory to treasure. A card for keeps at hallmark.co.uk. Free delivery applied at checkout. Offer ends January 3rd, 2022. Full terms and conditions at hallmark.co.uk.
The Velvetizer. Velvetizer. Even the word sounds smooth. The Velvetizer from Hotel Chocolat. A beautifully designed machine for making barista-grade velvety smooth hot chocolate at home. Just add our real chocolate flakes, your choice of milk, and Velvetize. Don't miss our Velvetizer event in store and online now. The Velvetizer. Say it. Taste it.
A card has got your Christmas presents all wrapped up. From biscuit tins to novelty gins to glam makeup. Get your presents sorted now, that's one less thing to do. There's an Ocado just for you.
With more of what you love this Christmas, including the M&S festive range.
There's an Ocado just for you.
Geographical restrictions and delivery charges apply. Minimum spend £40. Full T's and C's at ocado.com.
Got 2 dozen roses for Sally.
Diamond necklace for Sally.
Me?
The boyfriend hasn't just nailed Sally's birthday.
And here's the matching earrings.
He's only gone and cinched it, just like he cinched his motor. There's thousands of quality check cars online, all with free home delivery, so you can be certain you've absolutely cinched it.
Where do you want these tropical lovebirds?
Buying a car, don't just nail it, cinch it. Delivery to GB Mainland, Isle of Wight and Scottish Islands only. T's and C's apply.
This is Heart with the latest news next.
It could be a nan who's just made the best gravy ever. It could be a sister who's had a sneaky peek at all the crackers. It could be a best mate who's had cream, ice cream and brandy butter. Well, this Christmas, it could be you. Tonight's Lotto jackpot is £11 million and it must be won. Or thousands of you could win a share of the jackpot. Play on app, online and in-store. Lotto from the National Lottery. Your numbers make amazing happen. Estimated jackpot. Account terms, rules and procedures apply. Players must be 18 or over.
On your radio, on Global Player, and here. Play Heart. This is Heart. It's 8 o'clock. Here's the latest.
From Global's newsroom, I'm Rebecca Cook. The government says everything's being kept under review when it comes to the new strain of COVID. It's as stricter self-isolation rules are introduced in Scotland. People there are also being asked to defer their Christmas party. These people in Glasgow have given us their take on the changes.
My work's cancelled their Christmas party, which is kind of gutting. Work in the NHS, so it was our first party in 2 years.
I think it's absolutely obnoxious. I really do, honestly.
We didn't change our plans last year. There was 3 generations in my house last year.
The US government's rested its case against British socialite Ghislaine Maxwell in her sex trafficking trial. The 59-year-old denies all charges. The UK and its allies are meeting in Liverpool to discuss how to deal with Russian aggression. The Foreign Secretary is hosting a summit of G7 ministers, including from the US, Canada, France and Germany. And Banksy is going to start selling T-shirts to support 4 people facing trial accused of criminal damage in Bristol. They've been charged over the toppling of the statue of slave trader Edward Colston.
Weather with Global Player. Download now and keep Heart with you wherever you are.
A dry start for most, becoming unsettled and windy with rain at times later. Highs of 10 from Global's newsroom. You're up to date on Heart.
This is Heart from Global Player.
Welcome to Saturday Breakfast. If you went out for a few festive drinks last night, you got a bit of a sore head, don't worry, I've got you covered. On the way, will it be Christmas #1? Ed Sheeran and Elton John, Merry Christmas. I love that tune. First though, it's Wizard on Heart.
This is Heart.
But I think we should make this Christmas one to remember.
This is Hearts at Christmas.
Kiss me under the mistletoe. Pour out the wine, let's toast and pray for December snow. I know there's been pain this year, but it's time to let it go. Next year you never know. But for now, Merry Christmas. We'll dance in the kitchen while embers glow. We've got no love, but this love we got is the best of all. I wish you could see it through my eyes, then you would know. My God, you look beautiful right now. Merry Christmas.
He replies, Christian. She says, me too. That conversation has likely happened millions of times, since there are about 2.6 billion Christians on the planet. On top of that, the Center for the Study of Global Christianity said in 2021 that around the world there's something like 45,000 Christian denominations. Throughout history, there have been splits and more splits, with different churches believing different things. It would be an understatement to say it's complicated. So today we'll just concentrate on the one great big split and what happened after that. But first, let's get back to the start, and we don't mean God getting busy building the universe or Judas Iscariot giving his buddy away in the Garden of Gethsemane. What we mean is the church really started to have some legs, and that's when the problems started. After Jesus Christ died on the cross and was later resurrected, Christianity was rife throughout the Roman Empire, although there was a fair bit of persecution going on. Then, in the year 313, Emperor Constantine made Christianity legal, and in 380 it became the state religion. The Catholic Church says it began with the teachings of Christ and all its disciples. Those guys spread the word, and today people still spread the word. There are people called bishops, and they're supposed to be like those old school disciples. In part thanks to them, Christianity was soon everywhere. As the centuries passed, more churches started popping up, although they don't really become pervasive until the 11th century. That's when things really got heated. All you need to know is that Christianity spread over vast areas of the world, but the head guy, the Pope, was in Rome. Even so, many Christians weren't even close to Rome. They were spread over parts of Europe, parts of Asia, parts of Africa, and the Middle East. Those people were part of Eastern Christianity. But this only refers to geography, not beliefs and customs. Now, you need to understand two words, Catholic and Orthodox. Catholic actually comes from the word universal. So, what it really means is universal Christianity. Orthodox relates to following the correct beliefs. So, if you're Orthodox, you think you're just doing things the right way according to tradition and law. Of course, no religious person is going to say, I'm following the wrong beliefs. And no person is going to say, my religion is not a universal truth, otherwise it's not really a religion. In this sense, the semantic sense, all Christians are Orthodox and Catholic. But that's not the point of the show. Now we come to the big split, aka the East-West Schism. This officially happened in 1054 and was the result of Eastern and Western Christianity often not getting along politically and having different opinions on how one should serve Christ. One historian, speaking in academic parlance, described the reason for the split like this: the depths of intellectual alienation that had developed between the two sections of Christendom. They had their differences and they broke up. Nowadays, the Eastern Orthodox Church is the second biggest church after the Roman Catholic Church. The Pope is not their leader. Instead, each different Orthodox church has a head bishop who's elected by all the other bishops in that church. And he becomes the Patriarch, or what's called the Holy Synod. There isn't just one, though, in all Orthodox Christianity. For instance, you have the Russian Holy Synod, the Greek Holy Synod, the Romanian Holy Synod, and more. This is different from the Pope, who sits at the metaphorical throne and answers to no one. You also have the Patriarch of Constantinople on Orthodox Christianity, who is kind of the spiritual number one and the first among equals. But he's not like the Pope in that he doesn't hold sway over all the other patriarchs around the world. He still holds a lot of respect, but then Russia has its own spiritual top man in the Archbishop of Moscow. In matters of doctrine, the Roman Pope is said to be infallible, meaning he doesn't get anything wrong. The Orthodox Church disagrees, saying even its own leaders can make mistakes. Those leaders, by the way, are usually ordained monks before they become patriarch. Orthodox Christians are usually okay with priests being celibate or not being celibate, while Catholics don't allow priests to have intimate partners. Celibacy is not a big deal for most Orthodox churches. The difference is not really a great issue. A really big difference, and the reason for centuries of disagreement, is over these few words. I believe in the Holy Spirit, the Lord, the giver of life, who proceeds from the Father and the Son, who with the Father and the Son is adored and glorified. That's talking about the Holy Trinity, which is the Holy Spirit, the Father, and the Son. The disagreement over this has been called the filioque fracas, with filioque relating to the Son. It was actually one of the biggest reasons for the Great Breakup. You see, those guys in the East said it was the Father and the Father alone that was behind the Holy Spirit, and the Son wasn't so involved. They even said if you think any different, you're a heretic. Swords were drawn, and they were never sheathed. Still today, the Son in the Orthodox Church won't play such a starring role in preceding the Holy Spirit. They say the Western Church shoehorned the Son into things by itself, and that just wasn't right. They preferred what they think is the original version of events told by the first theologians, the Church Fathers. Still, both churches agree that there is a Father up in heaven and a Son that came down to earth, and also a Holy Spirit that is everywhere. They just don't agree on the relationship they have. Okay, but why do they disagree, and why do people today still argue for their side? Let's face it, it's human nature to join a club and support it. And where you're born usually determines which club you'll be supporting. Now, you'll see how each club has different ways of doing things, not just thinking things. You're likely wondering what this seemingly intractable rupture means today. If you mention the Son preceding the Holy Spirit in, say, Russia or Bulgaria, are you liable to find yourself in a punch-up? We doubt it, but both sides do argue over certain things. For instance, you might have seen Catholics making the sign of the cross on themselves, such as soccer players before they take a penalty kick, or mobsters when they're just narrowly escaped a whacking. You'll notice that they make the beam of the cross from the left shoulder to the right shoulder. Orthodox Christians do it the other way around. It might seem like a small deal, but it isn't for some who believe they do it the correct way. We visited an Eastern Orthodox website to find out why there's a difference. This is what we read. They, Catholics, must explain why they've changed an ancient and apostolic tradition. We cannot answer as to their motivations. Yet again, the Roman Catholic Church gets called out for doing things its own way, and not adhering to old school thought and methods. The Orthodox Church says it's preserved traditions etched in stone. It pays more attention, or most people do, to rituals. If you're going to try and preserve traditions, then you really have to be strict about your rituals. Religion is, by its very nature, conservative, but one of the bigger differences is the Orthodox Church is usually more conservative than the Catholic Church. To give you an example, we looked at Pew Research studies on Orthodox feelings about homosexuality and same-sex marriage. In the majority of countries that are home to mostly Orthodox Christians, the vast majority of people were against both. Greece was the only country where a quite large, but not very large percentage of people said homosexuality should be accepted by society. The Catholic Church also calls homosexuality a sin, but there are still progressive elements within the church, more so than the Orthodox Church. Just to give you an idea of how a certain church might think, one person wrote to a Greek Orthodox church in the US. His question was, I am powerfully drawn to the Orthodox Church, but I'm gay. He asked if he could still join. The answer was kind of yes, with some caveats, such as this. A repentant, struggling homosexual who refrains from homosexual acts can be received into the church after the usual course of instruction, but he or she would do their best to keep this matter in the confessional, just as is common with every other sin. Of course, all people are different. We like this response we found on another website when someone asked which church was more conservative. Politically, Orthodox and Catholic Christians are both all over the map. You'll find Orthodox communists and Orthodox neo-fascists, but also Orthodox peaceniks and the like. Same goes for Catholics. Still, some things just different and they'll always be. Take Easter, for example, which for many people will be how this deceased American comedian explained it. Commemorating the death and resurrection of Jesus by telling our children a giant bunny rabbit left chocolate eggs at night. He was actually referring to Catholics or Protestants and not members of the Orthodox Church. They're dead serious when it comes to the resurrection. In both churches, Easter can fall on different days of the year, but the days will still be different for both churches. The reason is because of a man named Pope Gregory XIII. In 1582, he made a change to the calendar, and that's why when you look at your phone, you're looking at the Gregorian calendar. The Orthodox Church bases the days of Easter on the Julian calendar, which relates to Julius Caesar. Again, they're sticking with tradition since Julian calendar preceded the Gregorian calendar. They're also a lot stricter about Easter. They start fasting on Clean Monday and do it for 40 days until it ends on Lazarus Saturday, 8 days before Easter. This fasting period is called the Great Lent. When that's over, they might chow down on roasted lamb or traditional soups and cakes, but not so much on the sickly sweet Cadbury cream eggs that were hidden in pairs of running shoes. The fasting part for Orthodox Christians is a huge deal, since it relates to important matters such as purification, enlightening yourself, and liberating yourself from sin. In short, it shows a certain amount of dedication. Catholics may fast too, but only on Ash Wednesday, Good Friday, and other Fridays during Lent. The truth is, Catholics are more likely not to follow fasting rules than Orthodox folks. As a matter of fact, members of the Orthodox Church are supposed to fast every Wednesday and Friday throughout the year, and many will take this seriously. Catholics should also fast every Friday, but many or most don't. As for what fasting requires, well, that changes for different people. Some people are stricter than others. It often means